Hey guys, it's Sarah. I'm back. So I wanted to make this second video, which is vaguely about my trip, but more about just what's been going on for me emotionally lately. And I apologize because this is probably going to be all over the place because I'm tired and I haven't really figured out what's going on. So, but you know how I do. I wanted to share what was happening because this is my therapy right now. So, going back to a couple weeks before my trip, I've been really struggling with identity. And that's nothing new. You guys have heard me talk about that before. I've struggled with the way I look. I've struggled with what I'm doing, my work, what I want to do with my life. Now, my struggles seem to be more based around how other people see me and how other people treat me. And there were a number of things that happened on this trip, or happened during the time of this trip, that really kind of opened my eyes about some things. And I guess just taking me out of my everyday situation exposed me to certain things coming up or happening. And it was really difficult. It was really difficult because I was already kind of struggling, and then this stuff happened, and it just felt like one thing after another, and it was really overwhelming. And there was one day there that I really kind of had an emotional breakdown, and luckily I was alone, and I didn't have to subject anyone else to it, but it was hard. Part of what I was dealing with is social awkwardness, and this is something that's been a shocker to me because I'm not a socially awkward person. I think I come off as pretty outgoing and easy to get along with and rowdy and obnoxious, but I've never really had a problem fitting in, I guess. But now, even in social situations with my own friends, and especially in large group situations, I feel like I don't fit. And the way that people have treated me has changed, or are treating me has changed. But I don't know that I really noticed it as much as I notice it now. I guess there's lots of reasons for that. It's even things like feeling like my girlfriends that before had the funny overweight friend now have a friend that they see as a threat or as competition, which is totally not the case. I mean, my two, I guess, closest female friends are both single, and I'm married, so I'm not going to the bar to look for guys, so I'm not competing with them, but I can tell that they feel that way, and it's human nature. Like, I'm not judging them for feeling that way. I just I don't really understand it because I don't think they're very threatening. I talked about it with Tanya a little bit, actually, and I told her, and she sort of agreed too. And I mean, I won't speak for her, but I know she said she kind of feels the same way now that she's had plastics. But I feel like I'm going through puberty. Like, I feel like when your body is changing and you kind of don't feel like you have control over it, you don't know what's going to happen, and you feel really uncomfortable with the way you look and dressing yourself and how you fit in, and you're just trying to figure it out. That's how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm 14 and I'm trying to fit in with the cool kids, or I don't know. I'm very self-conscious all the time. And even though I've learned to accept my body for what it is. And I think I'm getting a lot better at seeing it for what it is. I don't think I see it the way other people see it. I don't see myself the way other people see me, and I'm terrible at like taking compliments and attention. Terrible. Like, I just don't know how to deal with it, and obviously I'm not used to it, and so I need to learn to just shut my mouth and say thank you. But I tend to try and deflect, and yeah, I need to learn to just say thank you, because I know that when someone compliments me, it is, you know, there's not some ulterior motive or whatever. They're just trying to give me a compliment, and I need to just take the compliment and move forward, and realize that I deserve it, that it's okay to take people's compliments. It's not selfish or vain to allow someone to compliment you. I tend to, compliment people all the time, and I don't think it's weird if they just say thank you and move on. So I need to teach myself that. So some of the awkward things that happened kind of had to do with stuff like that. It wasn't about specific people necessarily. It was just about certain things that were said, or certain things that happened, or strangers on the street, or people in a bar, or there was just a whole lot of stuff happening. I just started questioning, like, my place, even like my place in this community. How well, sorry, my nose is itchy. How well people know me. Like, I think that I'm really, I try to be open and honest and vulnerable, I guess, in my videos. And I feel like I let people in. But I realize that there's people out there who I don't think they see, oh God, this is hard. I don't think that they see Sarah. They see less of Sarah. But I'm just Sarah. There's no like persona. I'm not, there's no like celebrity there. There's no, I mean, I understand that in the community there are people that people look up to, and I appreciate that. And anyone who, says that they watch my videos or follow my journey or I inspire them, I mean, I think that's amazing, but I'm just like everybody else. And I don't know, I operate thinking that people know who Sarah is. And I guess I realized that that's maybe not the case. And when you are trying to put yourself out there, when you do make videos where you share so much of yourself and you make yourself so vulnerable, it feels weird to feel like people don't get you. Or that I don't know. I think Michael kind of talked about this too, how people think he's square and he totally isn't, by the way. Oh no, Michael May is not a square. I don't know if any of this is making sense, but yeah, so now I feel like I guess somehow I had an idea of where I fit in, even in the weight loss surgery community. And now I kind of feel like I don't fit in my everyday life. And it's not that I don't fit in the community, but I don't know how or where I fit. And I don't know if I'm not acting appropriately, if I don't know. Like, I just feel like I have to question every little thing that I do. And I've just always wanted to be myself on this journey and do me. And it's really hard to do that when you don't know who that person is anymore. And you realize that a lot of your behavior is based on the person you used to think you were. And now you are a different person that people treat differently. I still think that when people look at me, they are seeing a morbidly obese girl. I don't realize that they don't see that. And I guess I just have a hard time with accepting compliments because of that, and accepting certain behaviors from people, certain situations. I don't think of myself as being like a naive person, but there were certain things I never entertained when I was morbidly obese, because I would just be like, well, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, I don't know quite how to explain that part of it, but I guess you kind of build up a wall. No, actually what happens is you have a wall. You have the wall that you're fat. It makes a physical wall between you and other people. And it stops certain things from happening. As an example, I'm not going to say I never got hit on when I was morbidly obese. I did. I got attention from men. But it was a completely different kind of attention, I realize now. The kind of attention that I get now is different. And it's not something I've really actually dealt with before, because the last time I was this size, I was like 16 years old. And that's a completely socially different thing than, 16-year-old boys or 20-year-old boys, and like grown men are different. And yeah, I don't know how to deal with that new kind of attention. And I'm just like wary of putting myself in certain situations now, because I feel like almost like when you lose your innocence, like when you realize like, oh, that's the way the world works. Okay, got it. Like my world has changed, but I didn't realize that it had changed. And it's like I got a rude awakening about a whole bunch of things, and I didn't like it. And I don't know that I'm not even necessarily saying that any of this stuff was negative. Just that it really threw me because it wasn't expected or whatever. And so I guess the rude awakening was actually that things had changed when I kept saying they hadn't. They have. I haven't changed, but I realized that to other people I've changed, and that the way they treat me has changed, and everything has changed. And I'm having a really hard time dealing with that. I feel like I don't know how I fit in. I don't know how to act around people anymore. I don't, it's just really hard. And, I wanted to share that with you guys, because I wanted people to know that even at a year plus out, there are still going to be things that happen and emotional issues that you go through, and that doesn't stop. So that's what's going on right now. And I'm sorry that I'm crying in another video. And hopefully you've been playing the LessOfSarah drinking game, so at least you're drunk right now. So, always remember, it's not just about what you've lost. It's about what you've gained. Have a great weekend, YouTube.